So today we're going to talk about this whole awakening thing that's happening. We're going into a new era. We're going to go through chaos. After the chaos is the new era. And you're probably exhausted. Maybe you're thinking, I am so over this. There's the shift, and we're going into this beautiful space of what? We're still on planet Earth. Today we're going to talk about the pain of awakening and what you can expect coming up here in the next few years or the rest of your life. Let's take a look now. Welcome to Landria Uncut. Raw, real, and uncut. I started this channel so we could talk about things that most people don't really talk about. Well, they tell you how great things are, how horrible. The Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the government, it is exhausting. Aren't you exhausted? I know I am. Well, I am an influencer. I have a channel that's doing quite well with a traditional spiritual discussion about our future. People want to know our future. What they don't realize is they're creating it every moment. And that's why no one person can predict the future 100% accurately. Are you looking for that? Do you go to tarot card readers or the horoscopes on YouTube? I've done it. And you know what I found out? They're completely inconsistent, right? Clickbait. Everybody's selling something. The world is selling something. Well, there's a whole group of people that you don't hear about that don't do that. They're givers. Maybe you're a giver, and then you feel like I give and I don't get anything. Well, let me share something about awakening. Awakening is actually just total acceptance that you're here to be the best possible version of a human that you can be. And when you accept this, you realize you will never understand why you're here. You will never completely understand the universe. Yes, we came here to play out roles, to learn. But why? If the one source is perfect, is absolute bliss. And we know when people go into near-death experiences, they go into that other realm. They say, it's amazing, it's beautiful. They don't want to come back. They never want to come back, right? Well, occasionally you hear the negative story, but most people would say, it's beautiful. Why do I have to come back? And why do they come back? They're supposed to accomplish some goal. And they often forget what it is when they come back. When I was there, I knew, but now I don't know anymore. Well, if we knew everything when we came here, there would be no game. If you knew how to get up to the leaderboard on Pac-Man and where not to go and where to go, what fun would that be? But then you get here and you think, this isn't fun, is it? But it could be. It could be if we all stopped selling. We're always looking to get something. We're always looking to gather power or money or things. And the ego's never satisfied, so you get the things and the money and the power, and it's never enough. And then you learn there's something bigger and greater. So what comes with that? Let's talk about the awakening. Now, if you have read my book, if you want to read my book, it may be the last spiritual book that you ever have to read. And it's not spiritual so much, it's more who and what we are. I got a download, and it said basically there's a place called the knowing. The knowing is you stop asking questions. Why? Because as a human, you can't know. But when you go into an awakened state, you know that you stop asking questions because you don't know. And so you accept that you're human and you're here, and that it's about the giving. Because when you give, you actually do receive. In fact, people that flourish, they're not trying to grab everything, they're creators. They create spaces. Now, they don't always do that on a high level, but awakened people that are creators, they could be millionaires, they could be billionaires. So it's not about not having money or struggling if you're awakened. It's about going into acceptance and saying, I picked a rough ride, and there's always something in here that I can learn from or share with other people. And you think, I don't want to. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And then you have a day where you think, wow, this is great, right? You have those days and you think, oh, I'm in love, or I got the job and life is wonderful. And then it's not again. Well, when you go in an awakened state, the roller coaster ride stops doing this and it's more like this. That's what awakening is. So all you have to do is accept the fact that if you go into that state of just being your best, making the best possible decisions you can, and it's not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do stupid stuff. You're going to look back and think, if, but look at where you are right now and say, if I want to participate in that golden era, the one that we choose where it is beautiful and that others will go through the chaos because they're battling for that control and money and power. That's what's causing the chaos. People trying to hang on to an old world that doesn't serve everyone. It serves very few. And so we're always thinking we can have a part of that, but you really can't. There's a small group of people on this planet that control that world. And we're never going to gain access to it over them because it's a material world. All right? They're going to win every time in that, but not in the ultimate game. In the ultimate game, that doesn't go very far, and there's lessons to learn, and they're not going to actually get up to what I call the penthouse. They're going to stay in the basement. So all the money in the world and everything you gain in the physical world, it's not going to count. But if you gain it through being awakened, now you're going to do some good things with it. Yeah, you can enjoy your life. You can go on vacations. You can buy nice things, but it's not going to be important to you anymore. And so you go into this awakened state where you realize the only thing that counts is what I did while I was here. Because when you leave here, guess what? That's all you're going to remember because you can't take it with you. Now, I have a book. I'm writing a book called The Bag Collector. When my father died, my mother died, and my dog died. I went through divorce. Then my dad dies. And I went, okay, this is like a country song. My dad, when I went into the house, and I hadn't been there in years, was a hoarder, and it absolutely shocked the heck out of me. Who was left with that? My brother and I, mostly me. And I realized that the hoarding, what was he saving everything for? Well, it's a empty feeling where you can never get enough. So you're either buying things or maybe abusing, drugs or alcohol. You're hoarding things. And that's what he was doing. There was an emptiness. And so he could never get enough. So he got satisfaction, what I call the acquisition. Yeah. Well, that goes away when you go into an awakened state. You actually go to the reverse side of that. And so you may, yeah, okay, maybe you buy some stuff, you have a cocktail once in a while, but you're not going to rely on it as the fulfillment anymore. You walk around with it. So you don't stop feeling the pain of the world. A lot of people think it stops. Yes, you go into bliss. I've been into the super heightened awakened state for years, but it didn't stop the pain of the world. And so even though I was feeling this, I felt alone. I felt like, don't you know what's up here? Don't you know what's available to us here? I felt like it was outside my body. And I realized it didn't get me out of this. I still had to be here. So you still have to be here, but I'm going to tell you something right now. You can go into that state where you stop asking questions. Why are we here? What am I supposed to do? What's my purpose? And you just give, and your purpose will show up. And you're going to be the light that takes us into the new era, the golden era. And you will be the light that shines on somebody who's making some lower frequency decisions, not telling them what they should do, but showing them how it can work if we come together as community instead of conflict. So, what's awakening for you? It sometimes makes you even more sad because now you're aware of how perfect it could be and how few of us are choosing it. But don't give up because I assure you that there's a space for you and a reward that's amazing. Because if you don't like it here, you don't want to come back, right? Be your best. Ask for the guidance. You always have assistance. And we are one, but you could say it was your higher self. You can name it. I don't even try to. I don't try to say what it is. But that space, that unknown space that surrounds you, is always rooting for you. You are in the physical body experiencing this, but you've never left that unlimited realm where all things are possible. And you have access to that too. So start focusing on that. How can I be of service? How can I be my best possible self? How can I stop suffering financially? How can I end the suffering with relationships? Or how can I change my situation? Ask for the answers and say, I'm ready to learn. Because it's not just fixing things, it's learning. And that's when you go into awakening. You're willing to go to that next space where you have to make some changes. You have to think differently. Because as a human being, that never goes away until the day you leave here. So acceptance and just say, okay, I'm here. What's my path? Show me. And you continue to put yourself out there. You continue to lend a hand. And you accept the fact that sometimes it's going to be bothersome. And then you're okay with it because you know that you are eternal, as is everyone. The best and the least of us are eternal. Nobody gets left behind. So hang in there. We're going to make it through this. Be the observer in the most turbulent of times and know that it is the foundations we've built that are unstable, that are crumbling. And we'll have an opportunity to build new ones. And sometimes that's unpleasant, right? But as you're building them, we come together in community to say, we have a chance to build something different, something new, something beautiful. Be a part of that. So whatever you're doing, however you're consuming, what you're doing with your body, what you're doing for work, how you're earning, how you are in relationships, you know, you got to work on that because it counts. It's all important for you. So we're going through something beautiful. It's a big transition. And I think 2026 is going to really show us some things because people are ready for this. And there are others who are going to battle and realize they're losing it. They're losing that material edge. And that's okay. You're either fight us or join us. And I'm not a fighter, neither are any other awakened people. So speak in peace, think in peace, act in peace. And you will go through the most amazing time on this planet that's either going to make or break us. And you get to choose where you go personally. You don't go to you know what in a handbasket with everybody. You get to choose. It's going to be okay because you are an amazing, beautiful person. Thanks for watching Uncut with Landria. I hope you'll subscribe, share my videos, and let people know we can do this. Buckle up. It's okay. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but at the end, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I'll see you in the next video.